Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Lakeshore East Building 1. Now this is a building in Chicago that is currently approved but has yet to start construction and kind of hasn't for a while now. We'll talk about in a little bit if I think this thing will start construction or not. But yeah, so this building is actually part of an overall master plan area in Chicago called the Lakeshore East development. This development has been master planned since the early 2000s. It's what St. Regis is in, and a lot of other buildings in the Chicago area. And the last two buildings are not yet constructed. One of which is this building right here, Lakeshore East Site 1, which is going to be 950 feet tall if constructed, or 290 meters. And the other one, which you can also see in some of these renderings, will be about 650 feet, I do believe. Yeah, about 650 feet as well for that second building. But that would be finishing the Lakeshore East development, this whole area kind of Chicago, which, like I said, has been in development since the early 2000s with different buildings going up. The largest of which is the St. Regis, which is a very famous building and a key building in Chicago. So yeah, let's take a little look at here of some of the different renderings. So the main building on the corner right there is the one Lakeshore East Side 1, and I believe the building to the left of that might be the other one, which doesn't have a name or anything right now. And I don't know if all these buildings are constructed, like the ones to the right either. Just because when you look at photos of the skyline currently, I don't know if those buildings are actually there or not. But anyway, this would be the development in its entirety right there, as you can see. But that's why I'm figuring this building here on the left is the other one that hasn't been constructed, the 650-foot tower, and then the one on the right, of course, is Lakeshore East. But yeah, so this project is currently approved, actually, though, which is the funny thing. So it's not like it's waiting in its process to get actually constructed, or not constructed, to get approved. It's just waiting to get actually ground broken and construction on. They were waiting, the last news you could kind of find was like they were waiting for the previous two buildings in this development to be finished, which those are now finished. I believe they finished in 2021, 2022, and these final two were supposed to start construction sometime soon after that. Now, of course, it's been about 2 years or even more, and we still do not have construction starting, so not sure what the delay is there. But I honestly believe that this will get built because it just makes sense to me. It's one of the final two buildings in this development that's been around for 20 plus years or whatever. It makes sense to me why they would, actually finish the development. It doesn't make sense that they would stop now. They've been doing it for 20 years with different buildings. It doesn't make sense to just cut off the final two. Now, obviously that could happen, and like I said, though, these are approved. I wouldn't see a reason why these would not eventually get constructed. It could be a few years past when they were expected to be, but it would not surprise me to see these actually get built. And so, obviously, there's no timeline for anything right now. These are mixed-use buildings mainly, and stuff like that. But there's no timeline for anything like that. But we, like I said, can look at some of these renderings here, and honestly, it looks like a pretty nice development. I mean, you can see it. Look at that density right there. It's not bad looking at all. I think it, blends in with the skyline in this area of Chicago pretty well. Obviously, 950 feet is super close to being a super tall. They could just tack on a few more feet there. That would not hurt at all, just to say that there is another super tall in Chicago. But I'm sure that won't happen. This did get bumped in height, though, actually by a little bit. I believe like 50 or so feet. From its original kind of, like, in 2018 original design was a little bit shorter. Then they bumped the design up a little bit, and that's what we have now and what is currently approved. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this Lakeshore East Building 1 in Chicago. If you think it's going to get constructed or not, I think it will. I think it will make it. It's approved. Final building, one of the two final buildings in a very long kind of, super development sort of project going on here in Chicago. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next